Dear Alexander Grigorievich, it's a pleasure to see you. I'm glad that this is your first visit after being re-elected as president. The width of style is specifically in Russia. Actually, that's quite understandable because Russia and Belarus have special allied and fraternal relations in the literal sense of the word. We constantly talk about this, considering it wouldn't hurt to mention once again the special nature of your visit. We have historical ties, relational among a large number of people. We have relationships that are being sold today. Thus, they could serve as an example for relations between many other countries, both in the economic sphere and in terms of security of states and our cooperation on the international stage. I mean, first and foremost, of course, in the forums. The question is where Belarus has become a full-fledged member of the organization. BRICS, where Belarus has also acquired the status of a partner. Overall, everything in our economy is developing in the best possible way. In general, I am overcoming all the external challenges. Again, the trade turnover has increased and reached a record level, according to your statistics. Over $51 billion, while the Russian figure is just under 50, a little over 50 billion. But nevertheless, this is a record level in both statistics, and they work like this. In the usual mode, as well as with an eye on the future, we are opening new areas of interaction. It was at your suggestion that we started working on this. Work is actively and positively underway, for example, in the field of aircraft manufacturing. Joint production is being set up in Minsk and other enterprises. And the production is purely Belarusian because in the aviation industry, relations in the fields of culture, education and sports are developing. So this year, I think it won't be just Russian culture that will be held in Belarus and Russian cinema. Our artists regularly participate in the project Slavic Bazaar, which you organized and that has been successfully developing. Over 80 subjects of the Russian Federation maintain regional relations with their partners in the region of Belarus. In general, active work is underway in almost all areas. And within the framework of today's visit, many events are planned, our joint statements prepared interdepartmental documents that will help the work at the level of specific enterprises and industries. Overall, the work is progressing well. We are really looking forward to seeing you on the 9th. And before that, a big forum is also planned in Volgograd. A large forum dedicated to the end of the Great Patriotic War, where we expect payments from other countries. In general, we are very happy to see you. Once again, congratulations on your re-election as the President of Belarus. Re-election to the position of President of Belarus. I wish you all the best. To the brotherly Belarusian people, all the best. And I'm sure that today's visit will go very well with a good institution. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I thought for a long time about what I could say about our relationship. They really have reached a very high level. We are creating a unique entity in the form of a union state, which an example that has never existed, for instance, in history. We're going down an uncharted path, and it's not easy at all. But how are you? We said that we have a good mirror where we can see our steps, and that's the economy, trade, and economic relations. And every year, in front of everyone, they were and will be these problems. We are constantly growing. This indicates that we are moving in the right direction. But what's very important is, well, the elections have taken place. These aren't the first elections in Belarus. So what's new? You know, what we shouldn't lose sight of. After all, our elections always have one side and the other. Well, the other side, as they say, in the famous film, it all ran away in parts. A small number fled to the west, but there are still some in Belarus hiding somewhere. Some are silent. But nevertheless, over 90% of people are about cinema, although from all sides. There were restraining factors, but our people were not averse to going to the polls. Hearing that 90% and over 87% voted for the incumbent president, after all, this was a vote. We are with Russia, our vector is east, this is our cradle, or somewhere over there. Well, here's the answer. The people have given their answer. And we have this question as the main question quietly, not publicly. It has always been there. That's a characteristic of our elections, all of them. So don't doubt it for a second. Not just me, but also my colleagues, government members, deputies, and supporters in our relationships. We confirm this in our united struggle in today's the sharp end, which is the conflict in Ukraine. And it's very important that we have always adhered to this course, and it's very important that the people have demonstrated this. our people understand perfectly well who our friends are and who our opponents, enemies, and rivals are. Well, you touched on all aspects of Belarusian-Russian relations. Between us, I once lived. There are significantly fewer problems than the issues that exist globally and even in our region. In this regard, we are working successfully. Of course, there are certain questions. I think we will address them in a broader context when the specialists are here. But we know these issues, and it would be nice if we could move faster here. But it doesn't always work out. And not only because of that, it doesn't depend solely on you and me. It also depends on external circumstances. We understand this perfectly, but everything we take on, we tackle thoroughly. For example, import substitution, countering these sanctions. Well, everyone thought we would collapse within a year. Well, we're alive and well, and I'm sure we'll keep living. We need a little more time, and maybe, but for us it doesn't take long. It's in our region. So thank you, Vladimir, for the beginning of this official visit. I'm definitely more inclined towards working negotiations and meetings, but we need to. This demonstration is necessary for Belarusians and Russians to show that we are together, that we are sovereign, independent states, but at the same time, we are like family. We will continue to promote this with all our agencies.
You have another busy workday tomorrow, a speech at the Federation Council.
Yes, there's also